evidence that...
Okay, good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon, one and all. Hopefully, you're doing well. Right. Who have we got in the house today? Got a nice showing today. We've got Salman Sana. Following you everywhere in the world. Candle crafter. Not heard of you before. I wouldn't be buying the euro dollar candle crafter. Not me, anyway. Good afternoon to Shiraj. Good afternoon to all. Welcome. Hi, Nelson. How you doing? Welcome to you all. If this is your first time following me here on the live non-farm payroll, well, you're more than welcome. Hopefully you enjoy your stay and tell all your friends about it and so forth. We do these streams. I've been doing this live non-farm payroll now for about 10 years. So it's great to be doing it. I haven't missed too many in my time. It's always the first Friday of the month, just so you can stick that in your calendar. We did have a Thursday last July for some reason. No, it was Independence Day or something like that. So it was on the Thursday, but normally it's the first Friday of the month. We also do stream other events throughout the week as well. I think we did CPI last week and so forth. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next live stream. You can't see us. Is that right? Can't see us? You're not on stream. It's just the slide deck. Right, let's have a look there. What's going on? You should be able to see me. Can you not see me now? Let's have a look. Why is that not loading up? Let's have a look here. Can you see me now? Are you able to see me now? Let's have a look. Just checking that. Can you see us now? 70% chance to buy. You should be able to see me. No, can't see me. What's going on there then? If you can't see me, that's a bit odd, isn't it? No, not yet. Only the pics. Okay, well, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let me see if I can... Just seeing if I can... All right, well, I'll try and sort this camera out. If you can't see me, then you can't see me. Just have to go without my pretty face today, if that is the case. The streaming software seems to be working okay. Just bear with me on this one. It's disappointing. Remove from stream. See if that. Try another layout. Bear with me a sec. Should be able to see me now. What's going on there? Right, how about that? That should be okay now. I'm not sure what happened there. Never mind. Right. Okay, well, I've wasted about 3 or 4 minutes there. So I apologize for that. So because I've wasted 3 or 4 minutes, let's get straight into it. Every non-farm payroll, we do this prize giveaway. Okay, so we're giving away 3 $12,500 experience trade assessment accounts. Okay, and it's got to be in it to win it. What you need to be doing is basically giving me your best guess for the non-farm payroll, which is going to be announced at the bottom of the hour. It's going to come across my squawk, as you know. But I'll tell you what they're actually going for, just so that you know what to expect. Okay, so non-farm payroll this month, we're expected to see it come in at 106,000. That's the general estimate from all the economists that have been surveyed. I actually think they are going to be wrong, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So what you need to do is basically put your best guess in. We're going to drop a link here in the chat, okay, the Gleam form. So fill in the details in there. You need to have your name, your email address needs to be the correct email address, of course, no dummy email accounts, just to enter, because of course if you win you won't get your prize. So make sure you put in your guess and all the details in there, tick all the boxes, and at the bottom of the hour when it's announced, my team, Joshua in the background, is going to be ciphering through all the entries, and he will tell me those that got it the closest, if no one actually got it on the nose. I will say this, actually, I've been doing this for many, many years, and I think only once have I seen someone get it bang on the nose. But anyway, we're going to give away 3 prizes for the nearest guess, and they are the ones that scoop the prizes. So get your best guesses in now, and we'll talk about that obviously through the announcement. Right, okay, so if you are new to this, remember this is purely meant for education and for entertainment purposes. It's not intended for as investment advice. Come on, we're all grown-ups in here. We don't need to be taking my trades literally. If any of you have been trading for any length of time, you know that no one really has the authority on trades. Trading is all about having a system and following it. You know, taking the losses, taking the wins. What I say could just be one of my string of losses. But I'm going to give you my opinions of what I think is going to happen, and you can take it for what it's worth. But who am I? It's a $7 trillion a day market. Okay, so the link is going to be dropped in here. Any entries that go into the chat won't be counted. Okay, so there we go. So non-farm payroll, first Friday of the month, as I say, we're going for 106,000 on the non-farm payroll. Average earnings is looking to creep up, and unemployment is also looking to creep up. We've got one's a bit hawkish there, and one's a bit, on the dovish side. So here's my take. I've been looking at the numbers coming in. I think that the economists here have underestimated this. I think they are. I think there's a potential for this to maybe not come in as low as they are expecting. If you have been following what's been going on with the Fed and Trump, you know, they had a Fed meeting this week, didn't they? And there were a few dissenters wanting to cut rates. Trump is basically on at Powell, trying to fire Powell, trying to get him sort of, to cut rates sooner rather than later. But this guy is sitting on his hands. He's sitting on his hands. And I think that that the pressure that's been piling on here, and obviously you had 3 dissenters that are basically looking for his job, I think that with the announcement coming in potentially strong, if you look at the JOLTS numbers and so forth, the job numbers are still pretty healthy. There's no real immigration issues going on in the US at the moment because Trump stopped all the immigration. So these jobs that are being offered, and you see the JOLTS numbers, which are job new openings, there's going to be a bit more of a take up. I'm not an economist, by the way. This is just my sort of take on it all. And I think the economists have got this one slightly wrong. So I think this number is going to come in higher than expected. I could be completely wrong, and then you can all laugh at me at the end. That's absolutely fine. So if it's wrong, what do we expect to happen? Well, the US dollar, since the beginning of this year, has been on a massive decline. I think it was down about 16% since the beginning of the year. But what you've seen, certainly for this month, what you've seen since really this, we talked about this break of structure, which is one of the strategies that I trade on the higher time frame charts. I call it the boomerang break of structure. We had a clue here, basically back from sort of end of last week of July, that this was for turning. Very briefly, how the strategy works is that when you see a level of resistance hit, basically coming up there at 118, and then the market pulls back to where you expect liquidity to be. It has a go again, but this high fails to take out the previous high. The break of that failed swing low, because it didn't make a new high, is what we call, or what I call, a break of structure. That was an early indication that this dollar was for turning. Okay, and indeed, that's exactly what's been happening. So you've seen the euro trade lower. This basically means the dollar is trading higher. I'm sure all of you follow the forex markets would know that. It's two currency plays when you're taking out a foreign FX transaction. You're buying one, you're selling the other. Whatever you're doing to the first currency. It's called the base currency, if you really want to know that. And the second currency in the quote is the dollars that you exchange for the base currency, 100,000 nominal contract size. So if this euro depreciates as it is at the moment, you see these candles coming down, pretty much, three solid down days of the euro. That basically means 3 solid up days for the US dollar. Okay. And the US dollar is basically, benefiting from the stubborn Powell. He's not moving. It's also benefiting from the tariffs. We've had tariffs today, announcements across the board, and the dollar seems to like it. The dollar seems to like what Trump is doing. So here's my little take on what I think. I think we're going to have a number up at around the, number, but above 106. So personally, I would be going for something like 121. In fact, that is my guess, 121. I can't enter my own competition, of course. And plus, if I did win, I'm sure Simon wouldn't want to give me an assessment account anyway. So we won't be doing that. But if we get 121, I'll be saying, well, told you so. Pretty much like I'm saying, told you so now in the breaker structure here. So yeah, I say 121, a stronger number than expected. And that's basically going to show some support for the US dollar. It basically means that Powell is basically going to be vindicated. He doesn't need to be cutting rates as much. You've still got inflationary pressures going on in there. You had inflation numbers out yesterday. The PCE numbers still showing 0.3, still showing stubbornly high, not high, but stubbornly there, not really moving down at a pace. But if the job numbers are still coming in with a strong workforce, then that is going to support the US dollar. If it supports the US dollar, I think my profit target down here, it's a very, very bold profit target, but I'm not talking about by 5 o'clock today. I'm talking about the next sort of level of support comes in around a 111. Okay, so there's a lot to play for here. It's only really, I think, that you are going to see when you start seeing the momentum building for confirmed rate cuts, are you going to see the dollar trade lower? Okay. The UK, remember, there's 3 main currencies that we trade in the forex, in the FX. You've got the euro, 88% is all dollar, by the way. You got the euro trades for about 35%. Then you got the Japanese yen. Then you got the British pound. The rest is all pond life, really. So the British pound likely to see an interest rate cut next week. We're likely, we've just seen ECB leave rates unchanged for the first time in 8 weeks, but likely to cut again more aggressively as their inflation hits 2% and maybe trickles lower. So all this is dollar supportive, which basically means this trades lower. Okay, so I don't think a 111 handle is necessarily wrong. It's only when you see the change in that sentiment would you see this, I think, regain its strength. I know I talk about this all the time, but I do want to introduce it because I know I have lots of new people following me each stream. This is the next Fed meeting. The next Fed meeting is on the 17th of September. The likelihood now of a rate cut is only 43%. This was up. This was 38, so it's about 62. So this is down from 62. So the likelihood of a Fed cut at the next meeting is diminishing, not just on words hearsay. It's actually diminishing on the swap market, on the futures market. That's what this is representing. It's the CME Fed Watch tool. It's basically telling you what the futures are actually pricing in. So they're pricing in a less chance of a cut. And today, with strong numbers, I'm sticking my neck out. I know I am. Strong numbers, you are going to see that dollar gain in momentum. We shall see. Right, what we got? We've got, Samuel has just broken all the rules under the sun. He's put his little guess inside the chat. We don't do guesses inside the chat, Samuel. Please put them in the Gleam form, which is above. I know lots of you are. We've got lots of entrants coming in. Breed told Paul, I don't know if you can hear me or speak my language, but don't put your guesses in the chat. They won't get counted. Okay, so there you are. We're going to close this at about 25 past, right? So we're going to close this in about 8 minutes time. So you've still got time to get your guesses in. Just a bit of housekeeping. When the announcement is made, it's going to come across my squawk here. But because you are all over the world, from my offices here in London, and of course we're using internet, it's going to be delayed. It's going to be about 10 seconds delay because of your internet. So don't think when you see or hear the announcement come across the squawk, which is instant for me. It's literally instant for me. I have to pay for that, of course. But you will get a slight delay, but you'll see it on the charts well before it comes across your speakers. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so overnight, just thinking about I got another little prediction for you. This is what's happening to the currencies at the moment. Okay, so this is the US dollar. Okay, this is the greenback. I've colored mine green. This tells me the currencies, how they compare with each other, which one's strong, which one's weak, and so forth. And the green is the green dollar. The weak currencies at the moment, the blue line is the euro, the most actively traded currency pair. I'd say it counts for about 35% of all FX transactions. A lot of people just trade those two currencies. You've got this red line and the white line are the weakest. Okay, well, and the Japanese yen is weak as well. Japanese yen, Bank of Japan this week basically not putting any real pressure on interest rates with their meeting. They're basically saying, let things play out. There's still risk elements are there. So Japanese yen's weak, but interestingly, the Swiss franc, right? Swiss franc is this red line, right? This is the Swiss franc. It's seeing a lot of money outflowing. And why is it outflowing? Well, did anyone see the news last night? Anyone have an idea? I'll tell you why the Swiss franc is coming lower. Swiss franc is coming lower because Trumpy boy decides to put on a 39% tariff on all Swiss exports to the US. Now, that's by far the biggest. I think India comes in at, Canada, look at Canada. Canada is the purple line. Canada came in at 35% tariffs, but they've basically done a trade deal. So 35% is on everything that they haven't done a deal with, which isn't actually very much at all. So although the headlines look bad, or 35% for Canada is actually not very important because they've done a trade deal on most of the products that cross the border. Then you've got South Africa's at 30% and India's about 25%. So Swiss is coming in at 39%. Obviously, the Swiss trade minister or whoever he is was on the phone to Trump's team and what have you. And they've obviously had a fallout. So that's why they've been they've been smashed with that. And that is why the dollar Swiss at the moment is having a massive move in that particular direction. Let's just have a look here at the dollar Swiss, which is this one here. So this is one of the biggest movers at the moment. The dollar's trading higher. Swiss is trading up. You've actually got the break of structure here. You've got the boomerang break as well here, by the way. For any of you that want to follow my boomerang, I'll talk about how you can follow the boomerang strategy later. But this is the boomerang break of structure. If you're just following this religiously on the higher time frame charts, you'll be in this trade now. So the Swiss franc is really being hit. I just think, and the Swiss franc is going to be weak across all the other currencies, right? Dollar's strong, so you're not necessarily going to buy the Swiss franc against the dollar. But buying the Swiss franc now, potentially against a weaker currency, possibly the pound or possibly the euro, possibly makes sense. Because there's no way, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's been known, I was wrong once back in 2003, it's basically, there's no way the Swiss are going to say, we'll let that happen, we'll just let 39% carry on. They'll be on the phone now. They'll be on the phone trying to sort out some trade deal. Now, I don't know what date they're looking at. Maybe someone said 7th of August. I don't know what it is. But I think you're going to see some form of deal pretty soon. Well, I can't put a time on it. A deal where Swiss basically get a reprieve, in which case the Swiss franc is going to bounce. If you're buying the Swiss franc and you're selling a weaker currency, and a weaker currency, as I said, could be this blue line here, the euro, that might be a play for you, or even the pound. So if you look at the euro Swiss, oops, just put over to the euro Swiss here. Okay, so Euro Swiss is been in a nice decline. Anyway, this is the daily chart. Okay, just take it out to that 4-hour chart. I like to trade my technicals as well as my fundamentals. I wouldn't be thinking you're going to be vastly wrong by maybe on a higher time frame chart trying to get into this trend. You've had a pullback at the moment. It's coming into, I don't know, liquidity area, would you say? Certainly up here, 93.50. If this bounces up to 93.50, I think you can get some, I think you can buy some cheap Swiss franc, quite frankly. But that is a longer term trade. Pick your battles wisely. Look at the daily. It's coming into liquidity now. This is the daily chart. Okay, so we're coming into this level here. Was really, look at these long wicked candles here. Right, this bunch of price action led to all this move up all the way up to 94 and a bit. This is liquidity in there now. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised to see this zone here. I don't think it's going to happen today, but this Swiss reaction, which is what you're seeing at the moment, this big green candle. Remember, this big green candle is basically the euro against the Swiss. Traders buying the euro, and look at the euro on the basket of everything. It's the weakest currency. So this euro, I think, is going to be the currency that is going to be weak. And I think pound is also likely to be weak. Buying the Swiss against it on a deal is most probably the way to go. Do I have to go back to that disclaimer? Don't go and do that now. If you do that now, I haven't got a trade on that. I have not got a trade on that position. So why should you have? It's purely meant for education. I'm telling you how I would analyze the markets. I look for price action. Right, I'm just going to take off that. I think we're about to close this competition in about a minute. So hopefully we've got lots of entries in. So what's the what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Higher, lower? Still got 5 minutes. The indicator. Guys, don't miss it. The indicator is this indicator. Yeah, you can go to TradingView. I had this. This is mine. I had this coded for me a long time ago. But guys that used to work for me. You type in indicators. You go to momentum meter, MOM, and it comes up momentum meter for top 8 currencies. This is the guy that coded for me. It's absolutely free. Leaving it up there at the moment. If he ever took it down, I've got the copy of it. So there you go. You can get that should you wish to. So there we are. Right, we've closed that competition now. So good luck with that. Can we see gold? We certainly can see gold. Gold most probably comes under pressure. I wouldn't necessarily be a massive buyer of gold at the moment. Okay. For those of you that join the Monday stream where we give away nearest the gold on Friday, we do this every Friday. same time, 1 o'clock or 8 o'clock at New York, we guess the price of gold and we give away another assessment account. My suggestion was 32.80. Got down to 32.73 and she's having a bit of a bounce at the moment. So I'm feeling quite vindicated on this little trade all the way down from what it was on Monday. It was, where was it last week? It was up at 3346. I called it almost 60 pips right. It's just having a bit of a bounce at the moment. But this will be decided at 6 o'clock tonight, won't it? So gold. I don't think I'm not a massive buyer of gold at the moment. I do think that dollar is going to be in for a bit of strength. And I think this NFP, if it comes in higher than expected, is going to see gold, this rally in gold mostly, bail out here. We've got a muted sort of effort, but to try to take out this bearish engulfing candle here on the daily. And I think it's most probably going to run out of steam, quite frankly. But as I say, you've got to, look, there's another boomerang up there, which you might have been in. Another 4-hour boomerang reversal. Look at that one. That worked out perfectly. Time to take that one off, but there you go. That was on some other analysis. Right. So, so I would be, if you're selling gold, into this, I think you always trade with stops. I think stops need to be above 333.60 and selling into any strength with stops above. So you can basically sell. On my analysis, I would be looking at selling gold at around, well, anywhere really here, stops above 33.60. Well, above there. I want to get above there. Definitely want to get above there. And then gold. So the unemployment rate up to 4.1%, that would be interesting. So I think you've got risk reward to trade on gold almost 2-1, selling around, and he bounces into about 33.20, something like that, 33.25. I would be saying is most probably not a bad trade. I definitely wouldn't be getting too excited about buying gold at the moment. I'm not going to start buying gold until they start cutting interest rates. I think would be. Oh look, I'm just looking down here. What this bloke says: gold futures slip on stronger US dollar. Yeah, well that's exactly what I'm saying. Waning safe haven demand. Okay. Gold futures, whatever. Gold flat, fresh tariff lifts the dollar. Yep, dollars lifted by the tariffs, and there you go. All right, we've got about 2 minutes to go. So, Josh, I mean, if you're listening in, Josh, can you give me a range of our entries today, roughly, of the lowest to the highest? You can give me that. Then we're going to see what the call was. Is everyone going higher? I think they are, just because of what I've maybe said. And they're all going to blame me when it comes in at 85,000. What did I say? 121. Giving away 3 12.5K assessment accounts. I'm not sure anyone else that does that. Yep, just got about a minute to go. Let's have a look. Stocks are obviously being whacked overnight with the tariffs again. The range has been 90 to 180. Okay, interesting. 90,000 to 180. Yeah, I think, that doesn't surprise me. I think that's quite a good, fair range. Most comes in around the 100,000. Okay, interesting. Most coming in around the 100,000. 106 is what the analysts are going for. I understand. So I'm going to go for 121. Got about 30 seconds to go. Here we go. And again, don't rely on the squawk. The squawk is going to be delayed for you. I'm just going to put in the euro dollar on the charts because that normally is the one that reacts the most, or should react the most.
10 seconds.
So strong number, sell the euro dollar, I would say. Here we go. Ooh, this used to be
73K.
Wow, 73K.
104K. Unemployment rate 4.2%, 4.2% as expected. Average earnings year over year 3.9%, 3.9%. higher than forecast.
73K.
To the markets, weakness in the dollar and the S&P 500.
Oh my God!
Private payroll,
What do I know?
83K,
Has anyone got a dartboard?
Forecast 100K.
What's the
Average work week hours 34.3, 34.3.
What's the look at this?
34.2. Average earnings month over month unchanged at 0.3%.
So now we've got a bit of a bounce in the euro. Dollar's coming under a little bit of pressure.
Manufacturing payrolls minus 11K, minus 11K.
That was a massive miss to the downside.
And labor participation.
Average earnings, those come in higher than expected. Remember what Powell said? Powell said, it's all scrolling down my screen pretty quick. Let me just go scroll back up. Powell said unemployment rate actual is 4.2. So Powell said in his meeting this week, the FOMC, that he's more looking at the unemployment rate than he's looking at non-farm payroll.
The prior revisions now, non-farm payrolls revised down to 14K from 147.
Wow, to hear this revision. This is really, really bearish for the dollar. This euro dollar could have a significant bounce this afternoon. All right, because not just the headline numbers. I mean, Trump's going to be all over the wires about this now. I mean, last month it was 147,000, and they've revised that down to 14,000. Was it?
Again, just noting that downward revision to non-farm payrolls revised down to 14,000 from 100.
14,000. Look, don't hold me over the coals on this one. If they can't get it right, how can I get it right? 14,000, 147,000. Right, we're going to get the lowest winners soon. We're going to get the lowest winners coming in at the moment. Josh is going to be busy behind the scenes collating all the predictions.
Gold extends gains after the job data.
Yeah, gold will extend gains after the job data because the job data this month headline and also the revisions really, really, really poor. The only caveat or the only thing I'll say on that is basically the unemployment rate is ticking up, and the unemployment rate is basically the one that the Fed chair is looking at more importantly. Obviously, a lot to hear about that in a moment. Yeah, I mean, if you're really bad at your job, don't you think you should just become an analyst? How can they get it so wrong? What data are they looking at? Are they just doing what I'm doing and chucking darts at a board?
Dollar Swiss franc ebbing down to spot 2%, dollar yen down spot 8%, euro rallying against the dollar.
Dollar is absolutely crashing at the moment.
The 10-year yield curve in the US.
Can you confirm the answer for me, please? So the rate was 73,000 is confirmed. 73,000 is confirmed. 73,000 is the number that we are looking at. Yeah, I'm just being asked to make sure we get those numbers right.
Futures imply that traders see a 75%.
Okay, right. There we got there. We've got average. Okay.
In September. So again, that's 75% from 45% seen before the jobs report.
Okay, let's have a look here. We've got. Can you not?
Again, traders resume fully pricing in an October Fed rate cut as well.
Wow, they're all pricing in October rate cuts.
September, fully pricing in easing in October as well. Gold down.
Adnan got 85,000. Well done to you. Adnan got 85,000. Well done. Hamid got 69,000. That was a really good best. I mean, obviously, Hamid, you deserve to win. I'm not being funny, but that was just, I think you must have been the lowest. And Sophia from Portugal. Sophia from Portugal was 89,000. Okay, so there are three winners. We got Hamid. We've got Sophia. And we have got Sophia's on the roll. Yeah, did she not win last? Did she win? And Adnan. Now, Adnan, you have been, am I not mistaken, Adnan? You've been following me doing this for about 10 years. You've been following me a long time doing this. Am I right in saying that? And this is the first time you've won. So it's always worth putting up with me.
German 10-year yield up 1.5 basis points. German 2-year falling 3 basis points.
So yeah, it's always worth putting up with me. Adnan's been doing it for 10 years. And it's the first time he's won. Well done, you. congratulations, you've just won yourself a $12,500 assessment account. Now, look, we've got quite a few of our funded traders. You think $12,500 is, $12,500, that's totally and utterly scalable. You can scale that up 25, 50, 100. This time in 2 or 3 months' time, you could be on a 100K account if you're trading wisely and trading with discipline and trading with, with the right mindset. Scaling these accounts up. I mean, we've got one guy at the moment. He's on an 800 grand account. He started off with a 200 grand account, scaled up to 400, scaled up to 800 grand account now. If you're on an 800 grand account, how much do you think you need to make a month to tell your boss to go and jump in the lake and become a full-time trader? Yeah, not very much, I would say. Look, a lot of you have turned up today. Presumably you've turned up because you want to have an assessment account, which is obviously great because it is your look at this dollar. This dollar is absolutely collapsing now. Just on that number, it's collapsing it's down 1% since that number. So you've turned up because you obviously want an assessment account, and maybe price was the bit of a barrier. Well, you have joined up at the right time. You may have seen it out there, but I'll just chuck it in here now. Let's have a look here. We're just doing this splash summer sale on the experience program. It's 20% off. It's a summer sale. That basically means it's for the summer. Okay, so if you can click that QR code, or you can go to the link in the chat. That basically means you get 20% off. So if price was the barrier, you now have a chance to take 20% off. No coupon code required for that. Use that QR code if you're on your phone, or you can head to the product page, and away you go. So there you are, your chance to take the assessment. You didn't win today, but you still got a chance to take a 20% off one of those regular prices. So that's a brilliant opportunity for you, if that is your thing. Okay, I'll just take that off for now. You can link there yourself should you wish to. Look at this dollar. How far can this dollar go? Right, I just want to look at gold for a second. Gold is here we go. I see a few of you scanning that QR code now. That's good to see. Here we go. Gold at the moment. Yeah, look at gold. Well, you have to analyze that data and think, well, how far can this dollar fall now? Because those are really, really poor numbers. And I mean, they might talk about the immigration thing in there as well, but they're really, really poor numbers. And if gold wants to, if dollar wants to, trade lower, then of course gold's going to push up. I still think stops above 33.70. So I trade these boomerang. I tell you what, while you're watching me now, let me also show you something here which you might be interested in. Okay, so you can get that 20% discount off the experience program. But if I'm going to get a little treat for you for turning up for non-farm payroll, this is our enhanced. Let me turn that squawk off. This is our enhanced education program. Okay, so we put this together here to really help the aspiring traders achieve what they want to achieve. Simon and I have put down an extensive amount of hours into creating some really, really powerful education. There's so much going on in here. You can have the beginners, intermediates, you've got the mindsets, lots about correlation and journaling. We've got a free journal you can download, the cycle of doom, the business plan, talk about some technical analysis in there as well. You've got some psychology in there. This is I think it's almost about 15 hours, 16 hours of videos across here. We also talk about the strategy. I talk about these boomerang strategies that I trade. Look, it's not all about the strategy, as we know, but you do need a strategy. And if you haven't got a strategy, you're no better than gambling. I trade a boomerang strategy, very, very simple. I used to be a floor trader. I've got to keep things simple. I don't use all the technical tools these days. So it's very, very simple looking at pure price action. I talk you all through the different strategies in there as well. These are the different resources. You've got, I've got a great journal in there that you can use to journal your trades and so forth. And Simon's got, I think it's about 7 hours worth of psychology that Simon's put together. He spoke to me before we came on camera a while back. He said it took him a year to do it. All right, so there's a lot of work gone into that. Now, if you use, if you want to get your hands on any of that, and also you've got a chance to join our private Discord, which most of you at the moment would not be in because you haven't been invited. It's a private Discord. These are great videos, by the way. I mean, it's pretty. There you go, look. Wow, look at him. If you want to get hands on any of this, you can do. If you're going to that checkout to take advantage of that 20% off, just use this at the checkout. You can use that coupon code PropIQ, and that will give you instant access to that all suite of education for absolutely free on top of the 20% you're getting today. Okay, so you use that and you will get an invite. You'll also actually get an invite from me for a private one-on-one. If you want to come on and chat with me, we can discuss your trading plan as well. So if you want to use that now, I'm not going to be doing this every live stream, but if you want to do that now, non-farm payroll, do that. We can get on one-on-one. We can have a chat about your trading plan, your business plan. You get invited, obviously, into our private Discord as well. So use the Pop IQ on there, and you'll be well on your way to maybe doing things, hopefully, a little bit different. Right, the winners have just been sent an email. So, yeah, congratulations to all our winners. Hopefully, you are going to treat those accounts seriously and not just treat them like a gambling mechanism. We've got many, many successful traders that are actually getting regular payouts. Remember, trading is not about getting one payout and running away saying, oh, I've got a payout. Trading, if you want to be serious about this, is regular payouts. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are disciplined, controlled, and then you can go into our winning bunch of traders, so winning group of traders that we can also use as well to leverage our own capital. So it's not all about charity. We obviously want to make money on this as well. So we put our winning traders into a successful group of traders, which benefits us all as well. So there you have it if you're interested in that. Okay, so you've got my views on a few of these things here going on. Let's have a look here. I don't know how that's going to affect my Euro Swiss trade or my pound Swiss trade. Shouldn't really affect it too much, does it? Well, that's coming back down at the moment. So, yeah, I think, what about the pound Swiss? We didn't look at that. Same type of picture. What you're doing here, you're getting onto a trend. This is a downtrend. Okay. At the moment, you've been given an opportunity to pick up some cheap Swiss. Yeah. Selling this, selling the pound. You're getting in on the trend. You're getting on the fundamentals. Yeah. Pick your levels, pick your stops, position size accordingly, and you are on your way. Don't trade it without making it fit in with your strategy. Again, if you want to learn about the strategies that I use, basic pullback strategies, boomerangs, always come back. Then you can use that Pop IQ. Right. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm going to go away and now read some analysis because that really was a bit of a shock. I might be watching the old Trump X account in a minute, Twitter or X or whatever. Because that's going to be fun this afternoon. He called him the stubborn moron. He called him this morning. He's calling the head of the Federal Bank of the USA a stubborn moron. Anyway, so I'm interested to see what comes out with his tweets later. Is back testing necessary? Well, that's a good question. Is backtesting necessary? It is necessary, and I tell you why I think it's necessary for a number of reasons. Well, first of all, I'll say this right about backtesting. A lot of people say, "Well, it does not the same, is it? It's not the same." When you put your own money on there, or there's real money involved, prop accounts and assessment accounts, the emotions are all different. You trying to meet targets and all that, and they are very, very true. Sitting there on a demo account or backtesting, it's not the same. It doesn't mean by backtesting a strategy and it works in the past that it's going to work in the future. No guarantee of that at all. But I pretty much guarantee if it failed miserably in backtesting, this probably isn't worth doing in the real market. So one is definitely true. I'm not sure about the other one is true. There's no guarantee that backtesting works in terms of the strategy. But the other thing about backtesting, and I've seen this for many, many years. I've been in the markets now for over 35, 40 years now, right? I've been in the education space for 10 years. I've been on the screens myself since about 2005. I've seen it many, many times. Really decent, successful traders that have come across my walk of life, they all have their drawdown periods. They all have their losing periods. Okay, now there's things you can do to help with your losing periods, and we talk about that in the education. But the thing about backtesting is if you know how the strategy is likely or has performed in the past, you're not going to be more likely to fall into that cycle of doom, I call it. You're not going to be tweaking the strategy, changing the strategy. If you've seen that strategy that you're trading have 10 consecutive losers on the bounce, but still had a good quarter or still had a good year, you're not going to throw it out after a string of losing trades. Because most people, what they do, and I'll tell you this for nothing, most people ditch their strategy on the down leg. So basically, and then they go and find another strategy. Yeah, and they make a bit. And then they ditch that one on the down leg. And all they're doing is ditching all their strategies on the down leg. And they're not giving it a chance to have the up leg. Yeah, so everyone's just destined to fail because you're always throwing out a strategy which could be perfectly good on a down leg. If you've done your back testing, you'll see that. And that's why I think back testing is so important. No guarantee of success, but I do think that it's well worth doing. And if you can't be bothered to back test, well, maybe you should be doing something else. Back testing is hard, laborious work, but trading is, after all, it is a job. It is a business. It is a career. So there you have it. Sophia, there you go. Thank you, FTP. Welcome, Sophia. Welcome, Sophia. Now, just before I go, if anyone would like to jump on a live stream with me and share with us, share with the community your trading experiences, the good, the bad, everything in between, send me an email. Send me an email to education@Funded Trading Plus. Okay, and we'll get together and we'll jump on, maybe get you on and discuss with the community. The community love to meet the community. So if you want to jump on a stream with me, send me an email to education@Funded Trading Plus, and we'll get you on to share your stories as well. It normally makes for good viewing as well. When Uncle Andrew uses algo trading. Right, folks. Thanks indeed for tuning in. Don't forget, use the Prop IQ at the checkout today to avail that 20% discount on the Experienced Trader program to one phase assessment. It's our most popular assessment that we do. It's a summer splash sale, which means it's for summer. And we're looking out the window now. Summer is coming to a bit of an end. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back on Monday for the live week ahead stream where we'll be giving away $12,500 again to the guy that picked the gold the nearest. It looks as though I'm going to be way off gold now, with gold taking a leg up with the dollar weakness. So it looks like I'm going to lose on that one. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for that. We'll see you Monday. Follow us on the YouTube, subscribe, like, share with your friends. That does help us as well to get out the coverage. And that way you'll also be reminded when we go live again for the next stream. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.